Welcome everyone, second attempt. What is more buggy than Apple's macOS? Certainly pulls audio. Recurring theme here, really, need to get back to my office workflow here and checking each and every stuff. Can't make the stuff up. Anyway, so welcome to this live stream here with a fancy old iPhone. So this is my iPhone 5 that I used 2.5 years, and I gave it to my father. He used it 2.5 years, and this is already the second battery. So I got the swap for free due to the regular recurring battery replacement program. And that is also the topic of this video, because certainly swap, you already know how to do this. You pentaloop and two pentaloop there, and then the battery connector bracket there, and also the amazing Apple quality. So this pull tab of all the batteries I swapped because we're professionals and not authorized Apple service provider. So certainly we do it ourselves. I have not once had a battery where this pull tab crap worked. So yeah, there you also see I did not plan to make this video. Just some notes. So one note, some weeks ago, because this phone my father had, certainly didn't use this old piece of iPhone. Welcome everyone in the audience. So some notes. First of all, Apple really has an issue. Nearly every of my iPhone, except maybe the first gen and 3G or something, but each of the iPhones, I said this until the Samsung Galaxy, I had every second iPhone, and every iPhone I had a battery replacement program, right? And so this was already replaced after just 2 years, last month of the warranty, or 2 years extended warranty, whatever. So this is Apple swapped here in their Czech or so service center by mail-in. And then, while I knew already the battery was not so much more amazing, right? So much because the recall reason of this was they produce this not 100% pure, and there were some impurities, so they said in their press release or something of that sort. And I have to say, each of my iPhones, after a couple of months, not 6 months, already after 3-4 months, they started to become shitty. You noticed in the cold weather here in winter and such, you go out, you have 30% battery, you go out in the Berlin winter and it switches off. Amazing stuff. I had this with each and every iPhone, and this is no exception. So the swap battery, they swapped this for me for free 2 years in, 3 years ago or something, or whatever, or 4 years. And I noticed already just a couple of months later, it was already shitty, right? So then I gave it to my father with a shitty battery, being a good kid. And then he used it. Well, he's not in a Berlin winter, so there in the house it worked mostly fine. So coming to the point of this video, 2 weeks ago he called me in the morning. I thought already something happened, because usually they don't call so early. Said everything okay. Yeah, why do you ask me? Yeah, he called me so early. Right? Oh, okay, no, but my iPhone is super hot. What do you mean your iPhone is super hot? Yeah, I charged it over the night and it doesn't turn on. It's super hot. So what do we do? I said, yeah, just leave it off. You don't have the amazing. So he's an electrician, but he doesn't have, although he just retired, he has literally everything. There you also see what crap this is with this stupid screwdriver crap. But they said, yeah, okay, just leave it there. We sent him the old iPhone of my wife, so he got an upgrade. And just this weekend I picked it up there. And some notes for you. So first of all, I really think Apple has a major problem. The batteries are so small. When they degrade a little bit, they're already crappy. So when they are new, you have 1 day battery life, which in my opinion sucks. Then you go out in the winter, like in Cupertino they don't have winter, but here we have winter. You go out 30-40% battery, you go out 10-0, it switches off. Not amazing stuff. And then, so this battery did not swell, it did not explode, and for some strange reason it's charging now, right? So I did not even plan to make this video. So another case in point, my wife still has a My 6, what is this, 5? So she still has My 6, and I swapped the battery there on my wife's 6 just some months ago, and just also 2 weeks ago, funnily, she showed this to me, like, I don't understand. I didn't drop it the last days, but now the display came off, like it looks like nearly like that. I don't have it with me because she's still using it, but so the display came off it. And also another public warning. So she dropped it some weeks ago nearly into her eye. So also public safety note, don't hold a smartphone with gravity over your head, like when you are on a sofa or bed or something and reading your stuff. It nearly fell into her eye, so it hit her on her forehead, just some 2 centimeters over her eye, and thankfully so, as she got quite some bump there and stuff. Not cool and not funny, but also, yeah, public safety. Yeah, 2019, don't lose your eyesight with reading with an iPhone over your head is not worth losing your eyesight. And I have to admit, I also did the same, and an iPhone at least once fell a little bit next to my head. So yeah, really not cool. But the point is, with my wife's iPhone 6, I opened it yesterday also at home, and because I thought it just like dropped a little bit somehow, I didn't still quite understand how the display could come off like this. But the iPhone, as a battery at her, has swollen, and this is also, of course, a 3-year battery. So I don't know what is up with Apple, but certainly, so yeah, they manufacture 1 million devices or 100 million devices or a billion devices in the meantime, but they have recurring battery issues. So of course, houses burned down, allegedly, at least some, and well, certainly a lot of people have battery issues, right? So I'm already not buying new iPhones, and the takeaway here is really don't charge any smartphone overnight, I would say. This is just too dangerous, even if it's a Samsung or whatever. Oops, sorry. Some other notes also. So don't use it with gravities, like when you're laying over your head and stuff, that it can fall down. Don't charge over the night, not to burn down your house. Because with each, so basically all of those phones, something happened. Then another strange thing. So the funny thing is, the battery was completely dead. It didn't switch on. I kept it charging some 10 minutes, it became warm. I'm really surprised. Also, here's some German news, whatever. And so I guess this charging reset somehow, because if I would not have made the YouTube live stream, actually I wanted to swap the battery now. I wanted to say, yeah, I have this public service announcements, and I wanted to swap the battery, which, fun fact, you can do with dental floss, because what I've done previously, I used plastic sponges to pry it out, but that is of course dangerous. I wanted to show you the trick to use dental floss here and pull it below the battery to get this out with this failing pull straps here that somehow nearly never work. And I only wanted to tell you that if you have such an iPhone and you want to do data recovery, I tried this yesterday. So yesterday it didn't switch on. This is still the old battery, and I disconnected the battery, which probably we could actually try to replicate. And just that you know that at least this iPhone, without the battery without the battery connected, it doesn't turn on, right? So this is also one of those things. The battery connector, this one here, this one, and oh no, I had the power supply in anyway. Let's see. So what happened yesterday? Of course, if live on YouTube, always something else happens. So it looks like you can switch it on, but yesterday it didn't boot. So I guess the power here over USB, also notice a super top quality Apple official original, amazing. So basically my cable are all fine, but my wife's cable and such, they usually look like that after some. So yeah, this is a recurring since a decade already. I also don't quite understand why Apple is not manufacturing higher quality cables. If you do not leave them on your desk like I myself, if you use them in your bags and carry them throughout the world, they somehow look like that. And yeah, you see, apparently I googled this also, other people also observed it, so for your data recovery and stuff, you cannot apparently switch on most iPhones, apparently, at least this one, as you see, it's stuck in some boot loop. I guess it's not getting enough power. It's probably also either it's intentionally not to boot without battery, or it's drawing too much power. I measured this actually yesterday, which, fun fact, because we are professionals, we can do it with Rossmann style here. I actually ordered this just for this kind of stuff. Here's this USB power meter stuff. Actually, no, I can't because cables. Anyway, it doesn't draw too much, at least not more than the charger can provide. But maybe they are limiting this in the boot up to the USB standard old-fashioned 500 milliamps or something. And that's not enough for booting if the CPU is really doing its stuff. So now I connected the battery again. So yeah, these are the shoutouts. iPhones do not power up. This is of course really annoying with data recovery. If you unplug a swollen, exploded battery, you need some battery. And what is also annoying, another shout out, each of those connectors are different, right? So each here, this is such a big move from Apple. I ordered this already yesterday. It arrived already today, some cheap aftermarket crap. And another observation, so given that the battery totally overheated, I have no idea why it is powering on now. It didn't do this yesterday, and I had this battery already plugged in the morning for a test. And I just wanted to glue it in live on YouTube. And apparently, as you see now, it's charging. So maybe something got totally confused. It's so basically not the battery, because it's still looking fine, although totally overheated and didn't turn on anymore. Also my father's pin code, not live. Hello, can we also, hello, tap here. What is now really annoying, of course, is that I ordered, no, it was just hanging. That is usual Apple quality. And yeah, so it's powering up and it's charging, and it didn't do this yesterday, right? And this is really strange. So this is basically the main reason why I wanted to do this YouTube channel and shout out that the charging circuit can also apparently be irritated. Otherwise, I don't have any explanation why it is why it's charging now. It didn't do this yesterday. So maybe something resets there or something, but the whole situation with Apples and batteries, it's not amazing. It's, yeah, also not really sure now. I have a surplus of this battery. I wanted to keep this in the collection of each second iPhone here just for the fun of it. It's only here a little bit wear, the usual, but otherwise still looking relatively fine. And yeah, no, I'm not really sure, should I peel this out, but maybe I could theoretically. Covering the data, I think they're switching to USB finally. I think they have not yet switched, did they? We could actually check this out here. But I think they still didn't switch, right? iPhone, what do they have now? Is it 11 or something? USB-C, I lost overview, maybe. Maybe just with a charger and not the lightning cable. So I think they still use lightning, maybe, allegedly. Anyway, so just some shout outs. Now, yeah, so the problem is now I have the battery already and I'm not really feeling the most like sending it back. Actually, I could theoretically check if it fits into the 6 of my wife, but probably not. Yeah, so that's probably that for this live stream. This is of course really a pity that just for the collection's sake, now I have here a spare battery that only, yeah, whatever, 36. So yeah, just some data for you. If you're interested in more live stream, we could actually do some software stuff besides I have other stuff to do. But that is a summary of this. Also, yeah, we could actually reassemble this. So not really. So the bracket goes here. So basically, are we even showing this the most? Do we have ISO? Maybe. That is not the most. Then we can also leave it on auto. What is it? Anyway, it's not so difficult. So that is just to have the right screwdriver. No, this is pentaloop. So yeah, maybe I money watch this here a little bit, but certainly if you keep using such batteries that already overheated, don't certainly those charge those unsupervised. Like overnight, this is this battery securing a bracket here. That of course live sticks to my finger like that. Yeah. Come on. Anyway, what do you think about the battery situation? Is this amazing? Which, by the way, when the Samsung Galaxy was new, yeah, also nicely magnetic. When the Samsung Galaxy was new, by the way, are we entirely focused? It's a little bit dark, I know, we still need to... Now we are focused. I was quite satisfied with the Samsung Galaxy 2-day battery life, which is double of the iPhone, and certainly something more. Yeah, this The iFix recommendation is, by the way, to disconnect those cables exactly for that reason. Disconnect the display ribbon cables there. Only short circuiting this stuff here live on YouTube. Come on. Which maybe I shouldn't power this with a charger while shortening everything with this bracket here. Maybe I should actually use my second hand to get the screw correctly aligned on the screwdriver. Yeah, that is the issue with the live streaming. On pre-edited video you can edit all of this out. But in my opinion, 2-day battery life is minimum for a phone. But looking forward to hear what you say. And this is not even gaming, right? So I'm not gaming on my phone. I'm only doing email and browsing and stuff. And if you do high CPU and GPU load stuff, then you anyway get significantly less battery life. So then your 1-day or 2-day battery life is just a couple of hours with high intensity gaming anyway. Here then, this stuff is pretty easy as you see. This is also basically nearly everyone can do this. Not very difficult. That snaps in here like that. At least usually it should. Like that. This is why you need the suction cup to pull this out, and then the amazing, this is really a finger showing the consumers a finger here with a stupid pentaloop screws. The biggest bullshit ever in my opinion. But yes, I mean this is basically just preventing regular people at home to swap the battery. And I certainly remember times where phones all had a swappable battery. Just even my Palm Pre still has, right? And in my opinion, this is really stupid. You know, this Nokia batteries you got in each convenience store, and here we have to deal with such crap. Yeah, 30 something. Yeah, that's it for this live stream. I now try to charge this, maybe keep this as a spare. I mean, if I would be total S, then I could send it back, but it wasn't that expensive. And although I don't really quite think it fits into the 6S, maybe I swap it another day then. But yeah, this is total surprise that this still charges. It's hilarious. Can't make this up, only live here on YouTube. Anyway, on Android sucks on the most stock ROMs. So I mean, the Samsung Galaxy is pretty okay. Thanks for. I also heard people have problems. So people on Android not satisfied. Also, it varies quite a lot. I didn't had any of this experiences, but I don't have too many apps, and I don't game and such. And yeah, I hope you learned something. And yeah, certainly don't. Probably better not charge at night with all this recurring. This is an official Apple battery, right? And so as the battery is charging now, this I can only say that means maybe I test the battery life tomorrow, but this to me indicates, as a computer scientist here and stuff, that the charging circuit might have been irritated, you know, some bug, some overflow, some whatever, and some random hiccup or whatever, and overcharged the cell, which of course means no, it should probably totally not be safe anymore. But yeah, there you have it. And don't hold your iPhone over your face and such with gravity to have it fall into your eye and stuff. And otherwise, yeah, such kinds. This is a cheap Chinese, although iFixit certainly also made in China. It's just some cheap set here for just some 12 something euro. Pentaloop is this one, 0.8. That probably, yeah, then you can do all this iPhone stuff yourself. Hope you learned something and hope to see you soon for the next videos to come. And yeah, don't forget the public safety